Okay, I'm at Falls Creek Falls Cave. Yesterday I attempted this cave, but long story short, I brought the wrong camera rig and I forgot the way through. So now I know the way through and I got the camera rig I want. So let's go through here. Now I'm not going to explore this part of the cave. I already did that yesterday. Video 1 and 2. This should be video 4. So I'm going to go straight through here to the good part, which of course means the hard part. And the easy part. Oh, cool. Wait, look at this. Nice big centipede down there. I don't know what that white stuff is, but I'm not going to touch it. Oh, it's reacting to my light. Alright. Alright, well, I'll leave him alone. I try not to disturb the wildlife, but I just want to show him that real quick. I'm sure he'll survive. So, I'm not wearing my backpack because I'm almost to a tight squeeze. To get to the other end of this cave, there's actually a couple of squeezes. The first one is tight, but it's flat. And then there's a couple I need to like crawl over a rock. So it's a little bit fun. Let's see if I can get through here. I'm a little out of shape. I work full time and stuff like that, so I'm having trouble keeping in shape. I should just go to get a treadmill or something. Oops. Alright. So I'm in a nice big room. Notice the floor is mud. The wall is rock. But yeah, you see that little hole on the floor over there? That's seriously the way through. But yes, I'm gonna get my clothes all muddy. But tomorrow's laundry day. After every cave, it's supposed to decontaminate anyway. So that'll be perfect. Do this cave, get my stuff cleaned up. There's a little centipede or millipede, one of the two. Alright then, good to know. No sign of bats though. I saw some rat droppings at the other end. Notice the plant root on the floor there. Alright. Now this is so tight that I'm going to leave the camera running, but the video is not going to be very good because I can't hold the camera upright. It just won't fit through here upright. So, let's see if I can... Oopsie. I guess I'm up the ceiling. I wonder how deep this mud is. Wonder if anybody ever thought to bring a shovel here and just dig it out. Just my luck. There's like, well, yeah. Don't do that. Just leave it natural. But considering how big that plant root is, the mud's got to be a few inches deep. Whatever. This isn't a construction site. Okay. So that, like I said, was a tight crawl. But at least it's not that hard because it's flat. So both directions, I can go head first. Alright, now I need to make a right turn. I could go up there, it's bigger. There's obviously way through here to the left, but you see there's white stuff on the floor? I don't want to trample that. There's also some gold stuff on the ceiling. That's not real gold, that's bacterium. So long story short, instead of keeping to the left, I'm going to go up to the right, just like I did in the previous video. Should be video 3. Alright, so now I'm on top of a rock pile. So look at this. Back down there is the way I came. That's the way out. I could have crawled over there, but like I said, I didn't want to trample that white stuff. Alright, I'm going to stay to the left here. Go clockwise, as seen from above. Right now I'm standing. I'm wearing my backpack. So, except for the floor being covered with trip hazards, this part's easy. I can breathe. Yeah. I'm still close enough to the entrance. There are bugs flying around. On the way out, in a previous video, I had accidentally inhaled a bug. That sucked. Okay, so look at the size of this room. Probably 20 feet tall, 20 feet wide at least. No sign of bats, so I'm using my normal voice. But notice the cool shape and color. But let me pan down here. I want to show you something before I go a little to the right. Oops, almost knocked the big rock loose. Okay, but look at this. There's mud over here. See those little pock marks? That's from rain or water drops come from the ceiling, making impact craters. So if you look over there, it's almost shaped like a sandcastle. Nobody built that. That's natural from water dripping onto the floor and hitting the mud. So please don't touch that because that's natural formation. It's very soft. I have no idea how long it would take to grow back. Probably centuries or millennia. Of course, it'd be easy to simulate in an amusement park. So thinking, man, now that I know how this stuff forms naturally. Whoa, do you hear that? And I was gonna say, now that I know how this stuff forms naturally, it'd be easy to do it artificially in an amusement park. But anyway, amusement parks aren't doing very well these days financially. See, the problem is, I think a lot of people, when they design rides, don't understand. They can't just make it good. They have to make it so it can handle, one, a lot of people at a time, and two, a lot of people per hour. You do those two, it'll minimize the lines. But, so, you know, something like Space Mountain, where you just have a little roller coaster, another roller coaster. I think the Walt Disney World version of Space Mountain has dozens of roller coasters all at the same time. So that's dozens or maybe 100 people riding all at the same time. It's like every 15 seconds, another group gets on and off, another 15 seconds. So just keep cycling them through. Something like that. But yeah, if it's something like Six Flags, you know, they have really good rides at Six Flags. But, you know, if it can only handle a couple dozen people at a time, well, you get the idea. Six Flags might have been a viable financial model when people were patient. These days, people have decided that it's not worth waiting around. They want to do something now. So, yeah. Very interesting ceiling. Very interesting ceiling. Except my gimbal's being misbehaved, so I gotta be reasonable. Okay, I'm gonna go straight through here. There's a little bit of mud. Not really any formations though. I'm still gonna stay on the rocks, just so I don't get mud. There's a little side passage there. I'm gonna stick to the left. So on the way out, I'll try to remember to check that out. It's not a dead end, but it gets too small for me. So I'm gonna pretend it's a dead end in the interest of not getting myself stuck. Man, look at this rock. And that white stuff, there's like white slime all over it. It's kind of unique to this cave. I swear, over here it's almost a pink slime. Like, remember that controversy a few years ago when they found out McDonald's made his chicken nuggets or whatever out of pink slime? They're like, what in the world is that? Well, oh shoot. You see that dark spot there? That was me. I accidentally, I used it as a handrail. I didn't mean to. So yeah, that was me. So you get an idea how soft that stuff is. It was squishy. I shouldn't have touched that, but I was kind of turning. I needed to brace myself. I should have planned better. Whoops. Okay, there's that side passage over there. There's the way I came in. Oh, darn it. All right. I'm going to go a little to the right because there's all that cave slime to the left. I don't want to accidentally touch it again. So I'm going to go over here where in the middle the rocks are bare. Along the edges there's still a good layer of cave slime. I don't want to make a mess of the cave slime. An ape cave, a tourist cave, Mount St. Helens, Washington, USA. It's people, they've been using their finger paint to draw in the cave slime. It doesn't technically hurt anything, but it's still kind of vandalism, you know? Because instead of having a nice even layer, it's leaving exposed spots and stuff. It's much better to leave it alone. Fortunately, once one person does it, everybody else wants to try it. So pretty much the whole cave has fingerprints on it. Oh well. But that's the thing about tourist caves. You get a lot of people who don't really understand what they're looking at. That's why a lot of really good caves, they have guided tours only. So the tour guide can tell you what you can and can't do. Like a lot of guided tours in a tourist cave, at the very beginning of the tour, they have like one designated formation you can touch so that you know what a formation feels like so you can get it out of your system. That way you don't have to be tempted later on in the cave to touch a formation just to see what it's like. Man, look at this wall. It's a really weird wall. It's a technical term, weird. All right, anyway. See, there's a lot of, oh wow. I just noticed this. I didn't see this. See, this is why I go through each cave twice at least. So look at this. I didn't see this on the way earlier. There's a few small columns right there. Wow. Cool. Wow, look at this big room I'm in. There's the way through over there. Notice the ceiling here is like 15 or 20 feet tall. Notice how it's almost white. It's like red rock with white stuff on it. The cave is like 30 feet wide. Huge. There's the way back. There's the way I came. Wow. Like I said, I've been shooting lately in both landscape format and portrait format. Personally, I like landscape format, but I know a lot of my viewers, they like portrait format because of watching it on a cell phone or whatever. Realistically, I think it shows more of the cave if I do it both ways. So if this isn't even 16 by 9, this is 3 by 2. I think my next camera, I'm gonna go back to 16 by 9. Thinking of getting a camera, it's actually 8K. Notice the ceiling here. A couple of holes in the top. Notice it's sort of a pinkish color. Well, over there. It's more of a brown over here. Very interesting. This isn't really much information, but if you look at the rock here, oh wow, I stand corrected. There's another column over there. But let's talk about this glazy stuff here. It was like almost dripstone, but kind of, sort of, not really. Same thing here. It's just kind of shinier than the rest of the cave. Kind of cool. Whoops. I tried to grab onto a rock, but it was loose. That worked. It's over here where the wall peeled away on the right, but not on the left. So up here, there's kind of a ledge. Technically, I guess you could hike out on there, but it looks sketchy and doesn't really go anywhere. So yeah, I'm not gonna try to get up there. Probably be a good view though, for somebody a little braver than me. I really like Derrick Cave in Central Oregon for several reasons. For one thing, the middle of the cave is much lower than the sides. There's like a balcony on both sides. So you can go up on the balcony, take some cool pictures. Notice how the cave's getting smaller ahead. Sometimes that means there's an upper level, but I don't think there's an upper level to this cave. But this is where it gets tricky. To get through here, I'm gonna have to do a little tricky climb over a rock pile. I'll have to take off my backpack. It'll be a bit slow. In fact, it's gonna be so steep that when I go over the other side, I'll have to come down feet first. The video itself will probably be really boring, but you know, no point in pausing the video. Notice over here, the wall, the rock itself is gray. It's covered with a lot of sort of tan cave slime. You know, every cave has its own cave slime. Like a majority of them, like Ape Cave, it's silver colored. But then like Golden Dome at Lava Beds, it's kind of a shiny yellow green colored. As you can see here, it's kind of a tan, like it's mud. Actually, look at that, there's fingerprints, I didn't do it. You know what? I'm not sure if this is alive or maybe if it really is mud. But honestly, I couldn't explain to you why there's mud all over the ceiling. So my guess it has to be something growing. But I'm not going to touch it on purpose. Okay, so now I get to go through here somehow. Yeah, I didn't do it, but look at this. Look at this. I'm going to sit down here, pan up at the ceiling. Look at that. Somebody used their finger to write in there. Oh, that's naughty. I wish people wouldn't do that because, like I said, it's better to leave it like it is so people can ponder how it happened. Nobody cares about the dude who wrote that, seriously. Okay. So to get through here, I need to climb over here somehow. So, about time to take off my backpack. This is a short enough cave. I probably could have come in here without my backpack because I can do it all in one battery. But I'd still rather have spares just in case. You could probably squeeze through there, but there's more room over there to the right. So even though I was planning on staying to the left, you know, I do have to be somewhat reasonable. Try to be halfway safe. Or all the way safe. Just kidding. If I wanted to be that safe, I would have stayed home. Yeah, see, a lot more room over here to the right. All right. Let's see if I can get over this rock pile. Thank goodness for knee pads. Knee pads are like best invention ever. Oh yeah. See here, it might look to your untrained eye like a dead end. But if you watched my previous video, you'd see how I got through here. Or if you just keep watching, I'll show you how I get through here. But first, the ceiling's low enough. I'm like not even crouching down. I'm like on my knees, kind of. Long story. The thing I don't like about caving though is the weight of the helmet on my head all the time. Darn it, almost went the wrong way. I knew I had to get up and over this rock. I was actually going up too high. So. Alright. Trying to be gentle, but anyway. I have to kind of crawl up here very carefully. Yeah, I'm also trying to be careful with my elbow. I don't have elbow pads. Alright. Alright. Gonna move my backpack over here a bit to the right. So this is the part I need to go down here. I could probably go head first, but I really don't think that's a good idea. I don't want to risk getting myself stuck upside down. So this is the part of the cave where the ceiling's tall enough I could kind of turn around, go down there feet first. Of course, right where I want to put my feet is also where I put my backpack. So yeah, lots of fun. Okay, there we go. I cheated. I lifted up my backpack and put my feet under it. All right. See if I can straighten out my backpack a tad. All right, there's the way out, as you can see. All right, well, that was fun. All right. Now, you know, I was almost tempted to come through here without my backpack. It's kind of a bad habit. I chickened out. All right. So there's where the cave's mostly blocked. And around there is the only way out. Unless you want to have Chuck Norris move some of these rocks for you. Like I said, if I own this cave, tried to do tours for profit, probably would make it slightly easier. But like I said, it's technically doable now. Better to do zero trace as much as practical. Alright. Interesting how you can see the ceiling is now not so high there, but it's higher here. It's a little, almost a cupola, however you say that, room. Alright, let's see if I can keep going. If I remember right, the end of the cave isn't much farther. Well, I said if I remember right, I would have done this yesterday. Alright, here we go. See, here's another little squeeze, but this one's not that hard. I'll take off my backpack just to be sure, though. So with my backpack on my back, makes me a lot bigger, which means a lot more likely to get stuck. So, yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, this is as far as I'm going. This will be perfect. But one thing I want to point out here, look at that on the wall. Looks like there's some plant roots. And also, this white stuff is growing in rat droppings. There probably is another entrance ahead here, but I think I'm almost to a dead end. So this will be a good time to turn my video around. All right, obviously there's the way out.